Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent, and today we have a special guest, a very special guest, the illustrious and praiseworthy draft guru himself, the great and powerful, bro to the schmo.
Man, that is a hell of an entrance.
Thank you. I try. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Spread this thing out to all social media. I know we've been on a little bit of a hiatus. You know, the Raider news has been a little this hasn't been the most eventful time. You know, we had to build up to the draft. Now we are kind of coming down off of that high, right? And this is something that Brochmo and I set up a while ago, talking about the draft and how we did and breaking down most of the people that we drafted. And there's no person in this game whose opinion about the rosters and who we picked and who we could have picked more than Brochmo, man. So listen, this is a treat for all the members of the Get Off My Lawn gang, man. We have a GOAT over here, Brochmo. Without further ado, man, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm already starting to get into the 2026. So
yeah, man. So are you developing your big board and everything already for 2026?
I'm right now going through. I already put together my watch list, and right now at this point, I'm just going over backgrounds, what their sizes were in the spring, and then I'll actually hopefully grind the tape next week. We'll see.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at this roster, what I expect out of this season. I expect improvement, right? I think that we had a pretty good draft, you know what I mean? Especially with the addition of Ashton, Jeanty, to me, he was the top 3 guy in the draft. So whenever you walk over the top 3 guy in the draft, you've had a damn good draft, right? And I think we had some holes that have been plugged. Let me ask you, man, I want to start and just walk me through your thought process of our first 2 rounds, man. And I'm going to start here, and I'm going to, kind of start with, our first round pick, Ashton Jeanty, man. I mean, at that point in the draft, man, do you feel like that was a solid pick for the Raiders, being that we had one of the worst, running offenses last year to speak of?
Well, I mean, with Chip Kelly, you're probably going to be switching schemes, so to speak. So you might be a little bit more outside zone. So, and I think that kind of favors like a guy like Parham, who's a little more light in the pants. But I think going with the best player and arguably on the board, it's never the wrong decision. It's just not. And we're talking about Jeanty being I don't like saying generational. That gets thrown around a ton, but I think he would be on par with like a Bijan, a Gibbs, a Saquon level prospect, just in terms of the production, man.
Really
was insane.
I mean, you put him up there with Saquon?
Saquon was different, man. He was a different like build animal, just specimen. In terms of the production, though, it was hard to match what Jeanty did in terms of force missed tackles. I think he had the highest force missed tackles ever recorded. Missed tackle rate was insane. Yards after contact was insane. This was a dude that was just bouncing off contact, no problem, man. I love these bowling ball builds, man. These guys that are built 5'9", 215 pounds. And we didn't see it this past year, but if you look at his 2023 season, he's got some pass catching to him. He had like 500 yards receiving.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
He brings a lot to the table.
The Peanut Gallery has spoken. Graphic Raider is in the place. He says, watch your dirty mouth, Brochmo.
I hate
Generation.
that word. I hate that word. I hate it so much.
Nah, look, man, I do too, right? Because you don't know if someone's generational until they start to cook in the National Football League, right? But from a college football perspective, he is, right? Because of the production, right? So that goes without saying, right? So where do you grade that pick out to be?
I would give it an A. I mean, for a team that, I mean, you already got Geno there in tow. You need something to take off some of the pressure off his shoulders, and seemingly with the line that I've been saying this like the whole offseason. I think it's an ascendant, up and coming offensive line. Jackson Powers Johnson's going to be, I think, a monster at center. If he's like a top 5 center this year, wouldn't surprise me. I loved him from last year's class. DJ Glaze showed some promise, whether that's going to be at guard or tackle this upcoming year. You still got Miller on contract, so I think I would grade it A, man. I thought they just went in, hey, did what you were supposed to.
They took care of business, man. In lieu of the guys that we got some adults running the room. And Colt Miller at this point, he's under contract. He's got no guaranteed money. We got to see how that kind of plays out. He wasn't there for involuntary workouts. He's been there ever since. I fully expect Colton Miller to be a part of this group, right? So transitioning on, the Raiders with the 37th pick in the second round took Jack Bech from TCU. Now, Beach, I can't pronounce his name, but I love this kid. Bech, Jack Bech, right? I love this kid. I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of what he's overcome in his personal life. And to be real with you, man, I mean, the guy is a great downfield blocker, man. Catches everything. He's a guy that I think the Raiders are really, really, really going to surprise people with how productive he is, man. There are a lot of things that people don't realize about this kid. They see TCU, they think small school. A lot of people don't understand that he was at LSU for the first 2 years of his collegiate career, and he cooked over there. He led the team in catches. I mean, what do you think about that pick at this point based off of this Raider offense, and where do you project him, going this year? Like, do you project him being a number one receiver? Do you project him being a guy that said, like, where do you see him?
So, I mean, for one, I mean, the Raiders traded back twice. So it wasn't even pick 37. They actually picked up 2 extra third-round picks by trading back. Well, for one, with my Dolphins, y'all kind of fleeced us. It is what it is.
Yeah, I forgot about that, man. My bad.
You forgot about it. I'm not living it down right now. But when they first picked him, I was like, man, I would like to see a little bit more speed on the roster outside of like Trey Tucker, which they took care of later. We could talk about that later. Yeah. What he brings to the table, he is see ball, get ball. He will be the first one at the catch point. He's not a fast athlete, but he's kind of fluid. He's kind of smooth. You saw that at TCU. Yeah. He was kind of in this weird spot at LSU where are we going to convert you to tight end, or are you just going to kind of be a big slot for us? That's my only thing. He mainly functioned out of the slot, but his release, how he runs his routes, leads me to believe that he could probably play on the outside, no problems asked. But just someone that knows how to get open outside of me fast, me run by you, but actually has that's a little bit more nuanced as a route runner and could create a little bit after the catch as well. I honestly see him kind of plugging in, kind of like a Jacoby Myers to some degree, being maybe a high end too.
Yeah. I see him possibly, being that kind of, sneaky number one guy eventually. You know what I mean? Not as a rookie, but, I see him maturing into that, man. And look, man, there are 2 things that I loved about this pick from my perspective, right? He's a full grown man. He's an adult. You know what I mean? He's a guy that's physical, right? He's a guy that can support you in the run game. He can support you in the middle of the field. It's a Swiss Army knife of a receiver. And also the Raiders got back some of the capital that we lost for Geno Smith. So it's almost essentially like the Raiders didn't pay anything for Geno Smith. I mean, you got a third from the Jets with the Devontae Adams trade, and that was what they used to acquire him. And then they went back and got more picks. So, man, I mean, this was nothing but right. Shout out to the over 245 people in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Share this thing out. I mean, what the F is going on? A guy takes a week off, and what the hell is going on here? Nah, man. So, look, bro, we have to get into the part of the draft, brother, that I think the Raiders absolutely cooked, man. And that's the third round, man. Now, pick 68. Raiders select Darien Porter from Iowa State, man. Now, this kid is a guy that's a physical specimen, converted wide receiver, a raw prospect, but he seems to be right up Pete Carroll's alley. Do you think that the Raiders overreach for him? Because you didn't have Darien Porter super high on your big board.
No, I think I could look right now. I think he was still in like the 60s for me, so this was right around the range.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, he was 64, so I mean, pretty good. But the way this dude's built, a lot of people were giving him the Reek Wolin comp because he's long, he's fast, he's 6'4". He's got like 30, close to 33-inch arms. And he didn't play a ton. And
yeah, he did. And they had him a lot on special teams. He is a guy that is not long for that position too, right? So
yeah, exactly. He made
he's
the
guy that you have
conversion
to
halfway
develop in
through.
real time. You got to develop him at the NFL level, right? The one thing, you know, and you know, I'm going to put up another graph comment. The Niners try to trade up for him. So I don't know. Do with that what you will, right? So for you, where do you grade this pick, and how do you see him fitting in the framework of the Raiders?
Oh, I like the pick quite a bit because, I mean, you're taking a swing on someone who has all the tools of a potential shutdown corner. It's just he's been playing the position for like only 3 seasons. This past season was the most he ever played, and that was like 400 snaps, a part of like a rotation. He'd come in and out, but he showed the ball skills. You know, he plays fast. And he's more put together than Reek Wolin was coming out. And I feel like not a lot of people like talk about that. And okay, he's an older prospect, is what it is. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him hit the field, considering the Raiders' cornerback room sooner rather than later.
Are you slandering the Raider cornerback room, bro? So what the F is going on here, man?
I'm just saying.
I mean, you come in with your disrespectful Dolphin self, and it's unbelievable. God. Wow. I mean, you invite this guy over to your house and you just disrespect our corner room. What the F is going on, man?
Hey, if you've seen the Dolphins secondary room, then you would understand. Real recognize real. I could tell a secondary in progress when I see it. And that's kind of where the Raiders are at. I mean, you saw good things from Bennett last year. Then you bring in Eric Stokes.
Listen, look, it's all fun and games until Jalen Ramsey's in silver and black, like where he really truly wanted to be. Have you heard the rumors? Have you heard the right here? We have a card-carrying member of the Dolphin fan base right now. How would you feel about Jalen Ramsey getting up out of there, brother?
Well, I don't like it because our secondary kind of needs someone. And he's kind of currently that only one. Like, we really have no one at safety. We have no one at corner. But apparently they're not going to do a trade unless someone pays all his guarantees. So, I mean, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I don't want to see him go.
You crazy, man. Yo, my guy, Ty Davis said, bro, Schmo, watch your filthy fish mouth. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Listen, bro, Schmo, look, I'm going to be honest with you, man.
Y'all got Darnay Holmes on the roster. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Listen, we will give you a chance. Take the Raider prayer. Come on over to silver and black, man. We have cookies. I mean, it's all right, man. It is okay. There's been a lot of pain in the past. But let me tell you something. Things are looking up for the Raiders, man. Get on board. Get on board, my brother.
I'm used to this abusive relationship that I have with my Dolphins, so I'm a sucker for pain. I'm ready.
Nah.
I'm ready to ride.
Nah, that's a fact, yo. Shout out to my guy DeMarcus West. DeMarcus West said, "Bro, Schmo, got a point wasted. The cornerback room is unproven and banged up. Pause if necessary." Listen, man, I'm trying to tell y'all something, yo. This is the room that I have the most hopium for. Jacorian Bennett is a guy that I think is an ascending player. I really do. I have a lot of faith in him. And I have a lot of faith of what Pete Carroll and this regime can do with a player such as a Decameron Richardson, man. You know, he's kind of that guy that fits right into the archetype of what they're looking for, man. So, you know, Decam, if he's nothing else, he's a good cover corner. He's not really going to make a lot of plays on the ball. He's going to knock it down. He's going to tackle well. That is the kind of guy that I think that can thrive in the Pete Carroll system.
Yeah, he's battle tested from playing in the SEC for so long. So that was someone I probably should have brought up because I said Eric Stokes. Stokes is going to be hurt.
Oh, come on, man. Leave Stokenstein alone.
I'm not hoping for it. I'm just saying it's been a reality the last few years.
I mean, what the F is going on here, man? Yo, shout out to the Kevin Nash and Shieldmore, my brother Ace Spivey gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to the masses. Shout out to my guy Spivey. Everybody who has received a membership, give Spivey a round of applause. He always holds the channel down, keeps the lights on here at Raider Nation Unlimited. Appreciate you, my brother, the GOAT. Listen, man, and guys, there's going to be some members-only content coming very, very soon. Very, very soon. I mean, sooner than soon, man. But listen, man, and shout out to Anthony. Anthony, you have not been blocked for the day. See, bro, we have some people who sometimes get called up to the carpet. They get sent to the principal's office. Anthony is definitely one of them. Anthony, I will not block you today if you behave. But damn it, Anthony, you get out of line. You're out of here. Get F up out of here. Shout out to Ty Davis. Shout out to Jerome Clemens, Leaky T, Adam Sweeney, CGR. Oh, my God. Space Beast. The juice is in the place, man. Oh, man. Hold on. My guy, Kenny, Wasted. Do you dust off your members-only jacket for the members-only content? You damn right I do. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be up here looking like MacGyver. I'm going to go full 80s, full Wang Chung. Full Wang Chung. So now let me get back to it because I know my man Bro Schmo has a lot going on, man. I don't want to keep him on here too long, man.
I got 3 kids, man. I got a ton going on.
That's right. He got kids with a Z, not with an S. You have anything more than 2 kids, you got kids with a Z. You got kids. So pick 98, my favorite pick in the 3rd round. Caleb Rogers out of Texas Tech, who I think is going to wind up getting converted from tackle to guard. And I think he's going to be a starter for this team this year, man. What do you think, my brother?
Yeah, this was actually the one pick I was like, it's technically a reach for me on my board, but I liked him in this like late day 2, early day 3 area, just because he was a part of that group at the Senior Bowl that I think was the American group. It was him. It was, Clay Webb. It was Jackson Slater, who I was like, these boys are about to get mollywopped by this defensive line. And they stood their own. They stood their ground. The offensive line blew me out of the water that first week. And I was like, golly, maybe this offensive line class is better than I expected. And Caleb Rogers was one of those guys who I hadn't watched going in, watched coming out. And like you said, he played tackle, played guard and center at the Senior Bowl. He looks more comfortable there, probably going to be a guard. Good mover. The functional play strength, like he's got power, but you don't always see it, especially against maybe more powerful interior players. And I think that was kind of evident against who was it? Was he I think it was like Yaha Black at the Senior Bowl, but he's a good mover. He's perfect for Chip Kelly.
Yes, he is. And look, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I saw him pull from right tackle and get upfield. That is a frightening brother right there, man. He is frightening, bro. That guy can move. I'm telling you right now, we got one right there with Caleb Rogers, man.
Dude, they're the Red Raider run game. If you look at how successful Taj Brooks, their running back, was compared like sidewise, that right side, it was like, oh, he was getting an extra 2 yards per carry. Man, Rogers is nice.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro. For me, man, all of the things that I see, that some of the positives from him, he's strong as hell, man. Especially at the point of attack, and he has pretty good arm length too, man. And I like, you know, how active he is with his hands, man. He got a nice punch too, bro. He got a nice punch, man. And he really, really excels when, he's securing rush lanes. And I think that kind of translates his skill set to being more of a guard, man. Nice kick out based on blocks, man. He consistently shows great lateral quickness, man. Great lateral quickness. Like I don't understand why he didn't switch over to guard previous to this. Like for real, to me,
college football, they put their best offensive lineman at tackle.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you right now, I would venture to say that this guy will be our best guard in another year. 100%.
I can see it. He's played both sides. He had a full year where he started left tackle, so I don't think you got to worry about him being like side specific.
Yeah, man. Hey, yo, shout out to my guy CGR with the Bombers Raider hat on the market right there. Yeah, I got to get that thing. He said, "Old man wasted." Shout out to my guy, man. And yo, y'all remember to subscribe to that channel too, man. And listen, man, pay your bar tabs, get wasted with your brother. Wasted, man. Yo, my guy Daniel, and I'm pretty sure this was one of the few years Wasted really wasn't disappointed in a number of our picks, especially in the first. No, not at all, man.
I think Raiders last 2 years have been cooking.
Yeah, man. We've been all right, man. We've been all right, man. I can't really argue with some of the picks. The only pick that I thought was a humongous reach, and get me together, bro. Tell me something I don't know. Was Charles Grant with William Mary, pick number 99, right after Caleb Rogers.
Really?
Look, I know that he has all the prerequisite tools and skills, but there were other people that were available, right? Like I think that this would have been a great place for the Raiders to pick up a quarterback or something like that, kind of just to mix that room up a little bit. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But Charles Grant, man, what do you think about him, bro? Like as a player, man, as a prospect, do you project him, being a starter one day?
Yeah, whether it's a tackle or a guard, because like you said, man, the dude's athletic as hell. I think he brings in 30, close to 35-inch arms. That's nuts. He moves extremely well. We didn't get a chance to see it during the All-Star process because I think he had a hamstring injury, which really sucked. That's why he was lower down my board. A lot of people had him in the top 50. So I loved what the Raiders did, going back-to-back offensive linemen and be like, hey, one of these guys are going to hit, especially with Miller. And, okay, are we going to be able to restructure something, or is this a guy we're going to have to move off of? Yeah. And then Grant, he gives you a little hope for the future. And, I mean, we've seen teams take flyers like Braxton Jones. He was, a fourth-round flyer by the Bears that, maybe won't need a tackle down line, immediately cemented himself in. I'm not saying he's like one of the top 10 tackles in the league, but he's a starter in left tackle.
Yeah, and if you get a starter from this low of a pick, you cook it with gas. I think he's the clear concession playing the Dakota Miller. Yeah. Hands down, bro. I really, really do, man. So look, man, I think he's our next left tackle. Where do you grade this pick, my brother?
I give it an A because even I wasn't that high. I wasn't that high on him compared to some other people, but I had him around my top 70, top 75. So I was like, again, I love that mindset of like, okay, well, we just drafted a run back 6 overall.
Yeah.
Our offensive line's got to cook, and we got a couple of guys that can get that ball rolling. And again, Chip Kelly, I assume he's going to lean a little bit more onto the outside zone blocking scheme. So getting some guys that can move is kind of ideal.
Nah, definitely. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my guy, God and family, man. Need a vet QB or safety or be vulnerable in the passing game. Yeah, bro. Listen, man, I can feel it. I love the youth movement as well, though. So I can't really be mad at what the Raiders are doing back there. Yo, shout out to my guy, The Juice. The Juice has become a YouTube member. Get wasted, with baby. Your brother. Wasted. Shout out to my guy. Yo, my dude, Daniel, if Grant really works and puts on size, cleans little things up, he's an absolute stud. He just has to want it and be coachable. Shout out to the great and effing powerful Daniel M. And really, really quickly, right? Before we go into the next round, I've got to ask my guy, Broshmo, man. Like, how do I say this, man? How much faith do you have based off of some of the upgrades at this point in the draft? Do you have in Geno Smith having a successful season next year?
I mean, dude, Geno's been one of the most accurate quarterbacks the last couple of years. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago where he had the best completion percentage downfield, and I was like, well, that's not sustainable. And yeah, it came down, but dude was still hella accurate. So I think he's going to be very successful. I think this offense, if anything, it might be the secondary, as said by the comments, that lets this team down and might get them caught having to come back in a boat race. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of confidence in the Raiders going forward. I mean, I don't know what the succession plan is at quarterback, but be real, you don't really need that for another year or two. So
Yeah, he's 37 years old. Quarterbacks play much later into their years nowadays, man.
And I mean, dude, he didn't start cooking until like 5 years ago. Good 10 years into his career.
Yo, shout out to my guy Rudy the Vet Russo, my dog with the $10 smackaroony. He goes, I'm putting blocks on everyone's comments. Bang zoom. Shout out to my guy Rudy, y'all. Oh my God. So look, are we gonna move into the 4th round, right? We getting into, some of my favorite picks of this draft. Dante Thornton, man, from Tennessee, wide receiver, 6'5", sub 4.3 guy, just a specimen. I was ecstatic. He's a guy that I picked in most of my mock drafts for the Raiders, man. Love this pick, man. What did you think of the Dante Thornton pick, brother?
Kind of answered my speed question, right? I was like, man, I feel like the Raiders need a little bit more speed. They only got Trey Tucker. Okay, well, let's go get the freaking 6'5", 205-pound guy that ran a 4.3 at the combine. I liked it. It gives the receiver room more variety. It gives that downfield threat for Geno, because I mentioned, man, he's pretty accurate downfield. He was like low key last 2 or 3 years. I think he's been one of the best quarterbacks going downfield.
Like 71% or something like that.
Yeah, something insane, man. He has been good at that end. I mean, Thornton's he's a role guy for right now, right? Doesn't really do much after the catch. He didn't run a big route tree at Tennessee, and doesn't really need to. Just give him the DK route tree. It's like, all right, here's your run these vertical routes, and we're okay. And he could do that, and he's got really good ball skills on top of being 6'5". So,
but see, this is the thing, bro, Smo. I don't like the narrative about him not running the full route tree at Tennessee, because he did when he was at Oregon. He did at Oregon. He, before he got to Tennessee, he did a lot more traditional concepts at Oregon, man. And I'm very uncomfortable with the fact that people think he has a limited route tree. I don't think that that's accurate. You know what I mean? I think we got a gem in this kid, man. And this is not Raider hopium. This is just, when you look at the frame, you have the want to, the know-how, man, and you got that amount of God-given ability, bro. Listen, that pick was a home run to me, bro. Home run.
I agree.
Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat, and shout out to Tonka Hemingway, DT from South Carolina, man. Man, what are you thinking, my brother?
I mean, he's TJ Sanders light. He's about the same build as TJ Sanders, just not quite as athletic, but not too far off.
Okay.
And dude can get after it. He's got scheme versatility, so he can like line up all over that defensive line and really attack from wherever. I was like, why is no one like this dude? I keep seeing him like, okay, he's like late day 3 or UDFA, and I was like, no, I have him like early day 3. I mean, if he snuck into the back end of the 3rd round, because defensive tackles specifically were flying off the board, that wouldn't shock me. And there he goes. Raiders snagged him up, and I was like, okay, there we go. I like that pick.
Yeah, Tonka's a beast, man. He's an absolute dog. He's an absolute beast, and I think that was a great pick. Where do you have that pick graded, bro?
I mean, that was kind of a my guy, so I gave that sucker an A.
Oh man. Well, moving on to the 6th round, we did some more damage in the 6th round. Pick 180, JJ Pegues, DT. Yo, DT, damn near fullback, damn near
Yeah,
option quarterback.
I think he had
I
7
mean,
rushing
the thick frame
touchdowns
version,
last
bro.
year.
Yeah, man. The thick frame version from Ole Miss. Man, I think this was an excellent pick. What say you, my brother?
Yeah, if you could get creative with him on offense, and that's a hella fun. Go around the goal line, short and third and short. He was even doing much more than that offensively. So like, he's so fun. But on the defensive perspective, he's got a good feel versus the run. I think he's a good early down player. He's got a good set of pass rush tools. It's just not. He's just not a high end athlete.
Yeah,
As weirdly as that sounds, like he can get going in a straight line pretty well, but he doesn't really have that twitch. Doesn't have that wiggle, that
yeah,
lateral ability. But I think it is what it is, man. If you're grabbing him just to be a part of that rotation there with Hemingway, then cool. You got a different flavor of life when it comes to the defensive line.
yeah.
And when you have Wilkins, that's all you need. You just need variety next to Wilkins.
Yeah, man. So because Wilkins is one of those players, man. He can break it down like however you want. He could be a nose at times. He could be a 3-tech. He could be the guy is so damn talented, man, that if you get him anybody next to him that can play a little bit, he's gonna eat. And we have that. You know, I think what we're doing is we're gearing up our defensive line to really be a factor this year, man. I think it's the premier group of this football team, if I'm being honest, man. So listen, we had 2 compensatory picks in the 6th round. Tommy Mellott, QB out of Montana State, and Cam Miller at 215 at the North Dakota State. It looks like Tommy Mellott is going to be morphed into the new Julian Edelman. He will be a wide receiver. I watched him throw. He reminds me of like Taysom Hill. Really kind of can't. I mean, Taysom Hill could throw a little better than this kid, but this kid, you know, is definitely going to be a slot wide receiver. And I like, to be honest with you, if he's willing to make that adjustment, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it. Brady and all those guys were well behind it. They saw what Julian Edelman did. Having the Chip Kelly in the building, man, makes me feel super okay with that. Them moving him around, man. What do you think, brother?
I mean, from what I watched from these guys, it was literally just the FCS national championship. They both faced each other.
Yeah.
I knew that Mellott was going to be probably a wide receiver convert. Cam Miller, it's a shot at the back end of the NFL draft. I don't really have any expectations for him. He's probably going to be a practice squad guy.
Me either. It seems like Brady likes him. That's the reports coming out. But listen, any quarterback that we bring in, they claim that Brady likes them and is fully on board. And the reality is that I think Tom Brady has kind of done his job at this point. He's gotten the people in the building to make the decisions, and I think he's stepping out of the way, right? That's what I'm thinking, man. Let me get to the Super real quick. My guy, God Family and Raiders for Life, Bro Schmo. That's fun to say. Bro Schmo, it's my buddy from the Elf Movies voice. Sign Simmons on the cheap, trade for Ramsey, or our defense to be top 10 this year. Bro Schmo wasted. What's the most you give up for Jalen Ramsey? The most I give up for Jalen Ramsey is it depends on how much of his contract I'm paying, right? If I'm paying the lion's share of that contract, the very most that I'm willing to give up for him is a 5th. Because not only
we'd be so lucky to get a day 2 pick for him at this point.
Yeah, maybe nothing, bro, because we are essentially just taking a burden off the hands of the Miami Dolphins as far as from a contractual standpoint, right? So not only do you have to do that, but you have to find a way to have a commonality with him to get him re-signed so you can build what you're building. And then to be real with you, I don't think that we're Jalen Ramsey away from competing. I know we're not. You know what I mean? But the thing is when players like this are available, you almost have to make a swing on that. Shout out to everybody with the coffee emojis. Spam coffee in the chat. What the F is going on here? Why are we spamming coffee in the chat? What are you guys talking about? I mean, what are you guys bored or something like that? You guys can get the F up out of here with your crap. This is nonsense. Bro, I come and try to bring you guys an informative and great show, and this is what you do to me. You throw me under the bus. So bums. Bro Schmo's in here cooking right now. is the treatment that the great and powerful wasted talent gets. The F is going on. You need it, freight train. You need it.
They ain't wrong though. Coffee sounds pretty good right now.
Awesome. The problem is I am home by myself and no one would be able to bring it to me. Neither one of my daughters are here. My wife is not here. And I am on the air with Broshmo. I mean, what do you guys want me to do? You guys want me to have Broshmo in the chat by himself while I go off and go make a coffee arbitrarily? The F is wrong with you guys. The F up out of here. I need no Adderall. You know what I need? I need to not be working as much as I've been doing. The F up out of here. Sorry here. They said they could find. They said, here he goes. He's up now. Here he goes. You damn right I'm up now. The F is wrong with you guys, bro. So I had to get this chat together.
Hey, man,
I mean, what the hell is going on here, man?
What's the tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing?
Don't you? Sorry, bro, Shmo. I am sorry. We got almost 500 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Bunch of bums. All right. So, the Ty Mellott pick, we went over that. Cam Miller, you don't have much to say about him. I'm hearing that Tom Brady loves this guy. It just feels like every quarterback that's in the building, somehow, some way, everybody wants to say that Brady had something to do with it. I don't see it that way, bro. I see Tom Brady kind of being the guy that to foster the infrastructure of the team, to kind of help Mark Davis with who to hire. And I think after that, I think Brady steps out of it. I really do. And I know you don't have any insight because you're not a Raider content creator and you're not in the building, but this is just something that I think makes the most sense. I can't see Tom Brady coming in and meddling with a guy like Pete Carroll, who's won on every level of football, right? And look, people talk about Tom Brady. You know, they say, you know, everybody knows he's considered the greatest quarterback of all time. And could Tom Brady be a guy that kind of fancies getting that diamond in the rough? Because that's essentially what he was, right? That's essentially what he was, right? This is a solid draft class, man. And with Cam Miller, look, man, Aiden O'Connell, say what you will about him, but Aiden O'Connell is a hell of a backup quarterback if he's your backup. I think it's going to be really tough for Cam Miller to make this roster, but I think he is going to be a practice squad guy. I really do. Tag Zohan says cap. Tag Zohan, you can get the F up out of here.
See, I thought Brady was just an escort. He's out here courting Matthew Stafford and Shedeur Sanders.
He didn't court Shedeur Sanders. If he did, Shedeur would be on the damn roster, wouldn't he?
I guess. I don't know. Maybe.
Bro, Schmo, I hate to do this to you because you are my illustrious and praiseworthy guest, but I got to do it, man.
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
You got to sit your ass down, bro. You think that he's an escort? What the F is wrong with you?
I'm a Dolphins fan. What do you think? What do you expect me to say? Kind things about Tom Brady?
I mean, listen, he kicked you guys' head in for 20 years, right? He kicked everyone's head in. But it's time for us to make amends with Tom Brady, man.
You can.
Shout out to my guy Tag Zohan, man. but
icing all those butt whoopings, dude.
Look, but in all seriousness, I think when it comes to the straw that stirs the drink as far as the roster, I think it's John Spytek and I think it's Pete Carroll, bro. And I think that, you know, Pete Carroll's not a guy 73 years old. The guy's won at every level. He is the guy that they want to make sure. They want to make sure that they get Pete what he needs. And I think that Pete didn't want to do Geno that way. I think Pete wanted to stand behind Geno, give him a clean slate, come in here as the guy, and see what he can do. This is the one good thing that I'm loving about our season, man. And then, you know, real quick, I want to transition to what you think and what you see with this roster, right? When I look at this, I see a Pete Carroll who wants to come back. He wants to win. I see a guy that has won on every level, and I see a situation to where the floor for the Raiders this year for me is a 9-8 football team, in one of the toughest divisions in football. I think this was a terrific draft class. I think we drafted 3 starters. You know, Jeanty and Bech, And listen, man, Caleb Rogers. I think Caleb Rogers is going to win a starting position with this team, possibly 4 starters. I think this was a hell of a draft class. Overall, where do you have the Raiders draft class, bro?
Oh, I gave it an A on my channel. I liked it a ton. And like you said, probably got multiple starters in this class. I mean, just looking at the top 3, maybe potentially another 1 or 2 with your pick 98, 99 on the offensive line. I think you got some valuable role players, some guys that can come in when called upon, can play 300 to 400 snaps a year if they need to. So I like it. I like it quite a bit.
So look, man, I want to get into a few things, right? The UDFAs, we're not going to really go over that. It's another time, right? But when you see the landscape of this draft, man, I think that this draft is going to go down and be a draft that people are going to be shocked and surprised at a lot of the people who were in this draft, man. I think this draft is going to be a draft where people are going to look back and realize that, yo, this draft wasn't as bad as people thought, man. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I think it was too much was said about how bad this draft was.
Really?
Too much was said, man. I don't think, and I think because they didn't have the shiny objects there, you didn't have a lot of the top end talent. You didn't have that, right? And I think that some of the rankings of some of these guys were a little bit closer. Like when you start talking about guys like Will Johnson, guys like that people had going really early that didn't go, that fell and stuff like that. I think that people in those positional groups that were a little lower, showed better. I think this was a talented draft. I really do. It wasn't a lot of top end talent, but as far as mid round talent and stuff, man, I think we did great, man. Great.
Damn, you picked up none of those guys with the injury concerns because there was a ton of them in this class.
That's a fact, man. Yo, my guy Jake Long goes 5 starters: Jeanty, Grant, Rogers, Thornton, Porter, UDFAs, Mellott, Britton, and Joyner. Yeah, bro, look. Thornton is a guy that's not going to start right off the bat. I think eventually he'll be a starter, right? And then Porter is eventually going to be a starter. I really don't think he's going to be a starter right now, bro. Oh, my God. Guys, everybody, thank you for getting me a membership. I wouldn't have paid for this foolishness myself. You guys are the GOATs. Listen, I am shocked, appalled, and dismayed that this effing bum is not a member of my channel. Let me tell you something. Graf, I am canceling my membership right now. I'm going to do it right on the air. You effing bum, you. That F up out of here with his crap. I mean, how the hell can my right-hand man not be a member of my channel? Bro, do you hear this crap?
That's why I work alone.
There's a bug. See, that's why you work alone. Yo, my guy, simple as F. Bro, Schmo, are Dolphin fans getting tired of the divish stuff from Tyreek Hill?
No, we just want to win. I mean, we're not hurt if we don't win because we don't expect to win, but it's like, it is what it is. We made our bed. We paid Tua. Tua held a gun to our head. We had to pay him. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of this, we're in despair. Like, we saw it coming from a mile away and couldn't do anything about it. Chris Greer, I don't like him as a GM, but it's the bed we made.
Bro, I mean, listen, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I wonder the thought process with a lot of the moves that are made over there. I mean, the guy is the guys every other week is begging to get out of there. They can't do it. He's almost untradeable, right?
Yeah.
Right. They can't really cut him. You have Jalen Ramsey, and then you have Tua turn the ball over, who is a guy who has injury concerns. He's one hit away from the infirmary, man. I mean, look, you guys are in dire straits down there, man. You guys are in dire straits. I'm surprised that you guys didn't swing bigger on quarterback too, man.
We made that big move to go get our left guard that you happily took our 3rd and 4th round pick. Because that's another thing. The Dolphins don't value draft picks.
Yeah, they like to really go into free agency a lot, man.
We ain't got the money to do it anymore.
Yeah, I know, man. It's crazy, man. I mean, Bro, so one thing I wanted to get into too, right? Because I know we've talked about that ad nauseum. I know this is a couple of weeks after the draft. This was when we could get on and really talk about this. What did you think about Shedeur getting past the Raiders? I mean, like I know you weren't a big Shedeur guy, right? What did you think about his fall?
I would have still taken him in the second round. I was shocked that he made it as far as he did.
Yeah, man, I am too. Like, what do you think led to that, bro?
I think a lot of it was the word was that he narrowed his window of teams that he thought were going to draft him, because his whole camp, they all assumed he was probably going in the top 20 or so picks. So he kind of narrowed it down to like the Browns, the Giants. And after the Giants kind of already decided that they're going to go with Jackson Dart, the Browns, I mean, ultimately the Browns did end up getting him, but like, apparently that was I don't even know. I don't even know what to make of the whole mess the Browns had. Why do you draft Dylan Gabriel and then go get Shedeur? They have enough quarterbacks in that room. I thought they were playing for a quarterback next year.
Look, you know why they did it? Because the owner told them to.
Exactly.
Because the owner told them to. You could clearly see on these guys' face exactly what happened there. The owner told them to.
I think you had a lot of teams looking to next year.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's why these guys dropped. I wonder if the president had anything to do with Jimmy Haslam making that move. Because it seemed like after the president treated out of saying everybody, all the teams were dumb, Shedeur off the board, right?
Had an executive order come through.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe Bluetooth a draft pick or something like that, man. Yo, man, check this out. Hold on. My guy, Ace Spivey, with the $5 smackaroonie. Graph. That was me that got you coveted. Wasted Talent membership. You have finally arrived in the big leagues. Yes, yes. Somebody bring this guy up to the big leagues. I am it's done. The F up out of here. Graphic hater in a place to be, man. But yo, look, another thing too, man. Hold on, my guy Estot. This draft is actually pretty good after you actually do your research on what these guys can do. The only thing that sucked is the O-lineman that we drafted. Our best guard is Kappa after the research. Get the F up. Yo, Estot, man, I swear, man, this guy would complain about a big bowl of ice cream with sprinkles. I mean, God, what the F is wrong with you, bro? How can you sit up here and say that these offensive linemen are terrible? I mean, listen, you got Bro to the Schmo in the place. Bro Schmo, what do you think about these two guys, man? Like, for real.
I like them. I think they have a lot of ability. I think they fit at least what Chip Kelly plans on doing. I think Rodgers probably has a good shot at that left guard job. And if they end up going with Meredith, because I assume Kappa's probably just depth at this point. Yeah, but
I would assume if he's not, then that means you're probably in trouble, right?
Yeah, exactly. Coming off a really bad year. And then, whoever wins out between Meredith and Rodgers, the other is probably going to be a really good swing tackle. I mean, that's what Meredith was beforehand. So I like it. I like the vision. I like taking a guy like Charles Grant and having him develop and can maybe be your heir apparent, whether it's at left or right tackle, depending on how they feel about Glaze and whatnot. So I like it.
I do too. Shout out to my guy Rudy Vet Russo. Ray Finkel is the best Dolphin ever. I mean, I don't know, maybe number 3 behind Dan Marino and like Larry Zonka, but Ray Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn and Einhorn is Finkel. Shout out to you guys, yo. Shout out my guy, Coach, sipping Jamba Juice out of a straw. Why did we get Kappa when we could have had Mekhi Becton? Bruh, Mekhi Becton came and went and saw and got his big money, bro. I don't think a lot of teams are willing to invest that kind of money into a guard like Mekhi Becton when you don't really know what you have there, right? Like Mekhi Becton looked great with the Eagles because the Eagles have a lot of talent. But if you're going to bring him in and pay him free agent dollars to kind of not really know what you have with him, I think that's a big ask, right? I would prefer for the Raiders to do what they did. You draft your guard talent, right? If you have mediocre, middle of the road play, at least you're not paying them a whole lot. You can move on, right? But if you get excellent play, now you got a huge value there, right? You have a huge value there, right? You have value for 4 years there. And then you decide whether you're going to move on and keep the guy. But I prefer to draft my trenches guys. I'm going to be honest with you. They're never going to be better than they are when they're coming up in their career. When you go out and get free agent offensive line help, most of the time, you know, it works for a little bit. And then after that, you start getting those injuries that come with old age, man.
Yeah, back then, I mean, that was thoroughly part of his career, injury.
I mean, yeah, pretty much, man. Shout out to my guy, Pride and Purpose. He goes, can't forget the super duper devastating Clayton with Marino. Yes, that's super duper. Mark Duper and Mark Clayton, man, the Marx brothers, man. Yo, salute to my guy, Rick Rock, man. And salute to the 500 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Shout out to my guy, Graphic Raider. It's the last thing I'm reading from this freaking bum. He goes, S. Dot will be the best lifeguard on earth, saving the youth from drowning with his elite guard skills. Shout out to S. Dot. S. Dot is an offensive line snob. I have to introduce you, Bro Schmo. He is a guy that is an offensive line guru. He is very, very, very hard on offensive linemen, bro. He really is. This is a guy that thinks that we should take Dylan Parham and turn him into a tight end. I don't know what the F he's talking about. S. Dot, you were close to Anthony territory, S. Dot. You were about to be unceremoniously blocked. Yo, get the F up out of here, Big Mike. S. Dot would have the Raiders running 32 personnel and power I on 3rd and long. Yeah, that's how. Yo, he's definitely a trenches guy, man. Yo, man, but yo, bro, let me ask you a quick question, bro. And I have to. And shout out to Demokes, AOC MVP incoming as usual, bro. Look, I gotta ask you, man. So as you look at the Raiders roster, you look at the AFC West, where do you see the Raiders finishing, man?
Oh man, I haven't even started all that. Oh golly. I feel like I think the Broncos could take a step back, depending on that defense. The Chargers, anyone's guess, really, with Herbert. Dude, I don't even know how to feel about the Chiefs anymore, man. AFC
I mean,
West,
because they got that beat down.
They got that beat down, but also the offense wasn't nearly as good until the playoffs came around. I think the first time they scored 30 points was in the playoffs, and they were being carried by Spags. And golly, dude, I feel like the Raiders are in the mix for second or third.
Really?
But it's a very talented division. It's hard to bet against the Chiefs at this point.
Yeah, I know. I mean, listen, if you got Kermit under center, most of the time when you have a all-time great or Hall of Fame quarterback in your division, most of the time they normally win a division. That's just kind of boilerplate right there. Hopefully things can change. Yo, so real quick, man, my man Graphic Raider, he said he wanted you to take on Mellott Dotson, bro. What did you think about that as a UDFA? I mean, I thought this is a guy that would have got drafted in the third or fourth round, man. I'm surprised that he was still available.
Yeah, I didn't love him compared to like his teammate Bryant, but I thought he was draftable. I think I still had like a mid to late day 3 grade on him. Yeah, I still had like a 6th-round grade on him. I think he's perfect for Patrick Graham's system. He's got legit playmaking skills. I mean, what did he have last year? 5 interceptions, 5 pass breakups.
Yes, sir.
Guy that can play dirty. He's a pretty smooth athlete. Didn't test out that great, but is what it is. I thought it was a good pickup. Yo, Ja Joyner, though, that was a hell of a pickup.
Yeah, Ja Joyner, bro. I think he's making his team, bro. Ja Joyner is making his team. That man is a beast, bro. He's a beast. I am surprised.
Y9, pass it down. Just go get it. Pin your ears. Go get it.
Yeah, man. You imagine him with Max and all of them guys, bro. Ja high stakes Joyner, man. I'm trying to tell you right now, that guy is going to make this team. Yo, I think Ja Joyner is the Malcolm Kuntz of the future for us, man. Yeah. Shout out to my guy John Scheffler, one of the inaugural members of the Get Off My Lawn gang. Shout out. Yo, my guy, Big Mike Ray goes, "What's up, Ant? I see you giving wasted hell as usual. The only thing Anthony's getting is a blocking. It's the only thing he's gonna get. Unceremoniously. The F up out of here with his crap every damn day. Bro Schmo, man, listen, brother. I really, really appreciate you, bro, for pulling up in here. Man, it has been the most splendiferous occasion, as always, brother. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, man.
Hey, easy breezy. I do want to give a quick shout out to another UDFA, which I bet you he probably doesn't even make practice squad, but I liked him and no one really talked about him. Hudson Clark out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
He played all over the place at Arkansas. They were like, hey, we need a corner. He was a corner. Hey, we need you at safety. He was safety. Like he can play anywhere in the defensive backfield. He's a really good athlete and just struggled with injury and few ineffective years. But I remember watching his tape a couple of years ago and I was like, oh man, this guy's going to be a future day 2 pick. And then nothing.
Bro, real quick, are you a wrestling fan?
I love wrestling, bro. Dude, I got the Bootios right here.
I figured that, and I wanted to ask. Listen, there are people in the chat that are saying that you look like Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, stop.
They're calling Broshmo Tommy Dreamer. Is that a disrespectful comment?
Yo, I know I need to get back in the gym, but I don't think I got the dad
you
body
talk
like
about
that.
You talk about Tommy Dreamer now. We talk about Tommy Dreamer circa 1998.
Okay.
We talk about the original ECW, the pit bulls throwing the chairs all in the ring, Sabu, Rob Van Dam. We talking
That's my
about
boy, dude.
Back in the day when I used to go down to Philly and check out. I mean, back in the day, bro. Back in the day.
Hey, I had the ECU or I had the ECW Dreamcast video game, so don't need to tell me.
Sega Dreamcast, bro. Shout out to Sega Dreamcast, yo. I mean, bro, you know, I sit up here, man, and you know, I harken back to a simpler time, bro, Schmo. I harken back to a time where, you know, there was a WCW, there was a WWF or E, and there was an ECW, man. I think we need to get back there, man. I think we need to get back there. Wrestling is unwatchable for me right now. A lot of people love it right now.
I don't mind it. I like it.
I like it. It's not enough competition.
I agree.
I like the Monday Night Wars, man. I enjoyed that. I think I need a little Steiner math too.
he still does math on X.
Yeah, I see it, man.
Do you see his thing about the 100 men versus one gorilla? He did Steiner math.
Yeah, he did a Steiner. He did a Steiner math. He said, but if you have a genetic freak, oh my God, man. Yo, my brother, man. Thank you for pulling up, man. Thank you for everybody who's out there, man. This has been a most splendiferous occasion, man. Yo, look, man, you guys have a terrific night. I am about to go get in the gym because, listen, man, I don't want anybody thinking I look like men on a mission. So we got to get out of here, man. Broshmo, I appreciate you, my brother. We are effing out of here. You guys pull up tomorrow. We're going all week. Raider Nation Unlimited. This was a wasted Broshmo critical breakdown. We do this every season. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody who pulled up, anybody who sent the super, anybody who sent a comment, anybody who hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And yo, Broshmo, do me a favor. Tell them where they can find you, my brother.
You can find me on YouTube at Broshmo. I'm about to start my 2026 deep dive. So that's going to be a ton of fun. We'll be doing some team dives where, hey, I'm hoping to have you on for the Raiders because, hey, you know it better than I do. I'm out here thinking brother, Tom Brady's an escort.
Listen, bro, oh, man, this is crazy right now, man. Yes, I would definitely pull up. And Broshmo, you know the funny thing, man, I'm about to go do a deep dive as soon as my wife comes home. Hi-yo! You guys have a good night, man.